Hey guys, it's Classic. Welcome to this week's episode of Casual Talks, where I get on the pitch with your favorite people in the Rocket League community to find more about them. This week's episode features none other than the crossbar warrior, Freaky. When did you get into Rocket League?
Well, into Rocket League around 2 days after it got published on Steam. Just playing with some friends, and then got into the pro scene probably after the LCS Season 1 Qualifier 2, which was like at the start of 2016, where we got into lower and upper bracket finals, but eventually didn't make it into league play because like they were too good. The other teams, I mean, we did have a good run, but overall, just the real good teams were just ahead of us. So yeah, after that, a lot of people told me or told us as a team that this is good potential, or like the team has really good potential. So we tried to stick together, play together more, and made it only like a month or so later, like made monthly elite, monthly champion, all that. And yeah, at some point we were considered a really good team. So it all started with the LCS Season 1 qualifier.
Cool. And what kind of made you go from, you know, the casual guy that plays Rocket League for fun with friends to, hey, I'm kind of good. I want to try this, like, to get, you know, better and maybe in the pro scene.
There actually never has been like a thought I should do it.
Okay.
I was just like improving harder, like improving faster than my friends did. So I started to play with people that are on my level as well. And when we started to beat pro teams, like we never thought about, oh yes, we want to go pro, definitely. We were just seeing we can beat them, and it's probably not bad to try it out. So just playing these tournaments, playing against the other pro teams, and receiving offers from organizations like Enjoy or Penta Sports, we got the feeling we can go pro, but we never had the intention to do it.
Okay, so it kind of happened naturally, you know, you just kind of had it, you know, in you from the
get-go. I never wanted to go pro. Like, okay. I just played the game for fun.
Okay, and it really became, you know, natural because you were just, you know, good. What's your favorite Rocket League esports moment? Like, it can be either like apart from like your experience, or as, you know, a spectator, or you know what, like kind of both. Like, what's as a player your favorite one, and as a viewer your favorite one?
Well, as a viewer, definitely the LCS Season 5 championships in London.
Because like as a whole?
The whole, like not just playing on stage, but also like just viewing the games and seeing how wild the crowd is, and seeing how they cheer for their favorite teams and players and all that. That was definitely something else, because I was visiting LCS Season 2 in Amsterdam and playing in LCS Season 4 in Washington, and none of these crowds was that loud. I'm not saying they could have not been, but back then it was just not like that emotion, because I felt like in London the crowd was really hyped, and they wanted to show that, and they tried everything to make it obvious this is their favorite esport.
They succeeded.
Yeah. But as a player, I don't know if I have one moment that makes me feel like that's my favorite moment. Or everything you can win or achieve something obviously is a nice moment, like winning Gfinity Elite Series Season 3, or even making LAN in the regional championships. Those are great moments, but overall I just see my professional career as probably the best thing that could happen to me in Rocket League. And so I don't see one big moment, I see it as in total, you know.
Do you have any kind of practice routine that you do? Like training or stuff like that related, you know, to get better or just to feel more comfortable?
Well, I never start instantly queuing for ranked or 6-man matches. I just play in free play for quite some time, warming up my mechanics, but I have no real routine. I feel like it's just like, no, I don't see a real routine in my day to improve or train something. It's just playing, because nothing makes you a better player than just playing, seeing how other players play and adapting and trying to beat them. But maybe sometimes I played some training packs like backboard reads or dribbling challenges, but overall I just play.
Okay. Yeah, so getting better by just playing more, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And do you have before, you know, big events, before London or before, you know, the Gfinity Elite Series finals, do you have kind of a pre-event thing to like kind of put you in the game zone, you know, into like, okay, now this is my ritual, let's say, to be like, give my all, be super focused, and, you know, be in your zone? Do you have that kind of ritual?
I used to hold my hands under warm water, so I don't feel like having cold hands on stage. I don't do that anymore though, because before matches we actually have to wait a lot of time, like a long time, and I just stand there, watch the crowd, or like hear the casters and listen into myself and feel like, Freaky, let's go, you can do this, don't be worried and all that. I'm just trying to push myself, but I'm not like having a real ritual like back when I did this with the hands.
It's kind of more natural, just, you know, enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
I would like to know, is there like a favorite book or movie that kind of changed the way you act or the way you perceive life?
I would say I don't have materialistic thing that makes me think about like life choices, but what does is like what happens to my family and friends.
Okay.
So
can you elaborate?
When something happens to my friend or family, I always think about what probably caused it. And there was this one time where my dad had an accident with his bike, and he had to go to the hospital, and I was in school and I didn't know it. So when my mom picked me up from school, she was like, your dad is in hospital, we need to go there. And I was like thinking the whole drive towards the hospital, I was really nervous, and because I didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
So I thought about, because my dad and I had a big fight the day before.
Okay.
And I always thought about what happens if I can't see my dad anymore, like if something really, really bad happened with that accident. So every time I'm leaving the house right now, I'm making sure to say goodbye to everyone I can, like to my mom, to my sister, to my dad, even to my dog, because at some point you don't know what happens if you're out of the house.
If you would have one like advice, or, you know, it could be multiple, whatever you feel, you know, most comfortable with, to upcoming players that would maybe like to reach, you know, RLCS, RLRS, but are not quite there yet, you know, maybe those grand champions or those ranked warriors, or even like the silver dude just buying the game like right now, what would be the one thing you would advise them to maybe try to get onto the big stage?
But overall, if they just play Rocket League and they have big dreams, never let someone tell you you can't reach them. Because if you put the effort in, there's no point to not being able to reach them. And even because someone who's maybe better now will say you are not good enough, this could be different in 3 or 4 months already. That's what happened to me. So many players told me I'm not good enough, and literally half a year after that I was playing in RCS and they still didn't.
When you do feel like stressed or anxious or kind of, you know, upset or whatever, like kind of any negative emotions that kind of overwhelms you, do you have a tactic or like some kind of thing you do to keep yourself calm or bring yourself like back to normal?
Well, at the first, I think about it myself. So if I can't see how to fix them, or like if I don't understand what I did wrong at some point, but I know it was wrong, I'm always telling my real life friends, because I have one close real life friend who's always supportive in my Rocket League career.
How was it to pair work with trying to go pro in Rocket League? Like, how did you manage your time? Like, how were you able to make it work?
Well, I did work already before I went pro in Rocket League, so I just played in the evening hours, and played the tournaments like Gfinity and ESL on the weekends. But when I'm becoming a Rocket League pro, like going into LCS and joining big organizations, I did have the feel to have to put more hours into the game. It's just hard if you still work on a daily basis. But overall, I don't think like I didn't play the complete rest of the day when I get home from work. I had I aimed for around 3 to 4 hours a day, and I try to always get them, even though if I'm tired or something. But also always trying to go to sleep early enough so I'm not tired the next day in work. Overall, at the end, especially at the end, it was pretty hard to get Rocket League and big organization work to make it possible at the same time, because like when we had to do interviews or when we had to fly out to different locations to make stuff for the organization, but me still having to work, at some point I was like, I can't do that anymore. So I decided myself, after my contract ended with the civil year I was working in, I won't extend it, so I can completely focus on Rocket League. But on the other hand, I always felt like still working and playing Rocket League at the same time made me think about what I can achieve.
Is there a message or a shout out or anything you wanna share with the people that listen to this? It can be either shouting yourself out, shouting someone that helped you. It can be multiple people, or it can be even like a message. Not necessarily shouting people or things, but maybe a message you want to get out there. This is your go for sharing that stuff, that thing you hold dear.
Well, I guess most of the people that hear this are probably like they know me, they know who I am, they know what I'm doing. And even though if you don't support the teams I played in, or like if you don't like me as a player, it's always nice to see so many fans of Rocket League and the support they give to their players and teams. And it's especially nice if you meet players that like people that cheer for you and support you. And I just want to say thank you to everyone.